Hey everybody, welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Michael Noland. You know, it seems like every year we lose more and more beloved classic rock icons, either due to them permanently retiring or them passing away. Here's an uncomfortable question to contemplate. What happens to classic rock in general when we lose all of our beloved rock icons? We've talked about it before. We're going to talk about it again because the problem's not going away. It's getting worse. You know, it's tempting to see our rock heroes as immortal. And while it's true that much of what they've accomplished may seem immortal, the truth is they are no more immortal than you and I. Everybody's got a shelf life. And while it's true that what they've accomplished will outlive their own meager lifetimes, some of them are still out there, believe it or not, in their 80s and touring. Not only that, but touring and making a big profit. I've talked about how that can be a problem for rock and roll. It creates a bottlenecking system where new bands never see the light of day. And it's also been a factor for increased ticket prices because a lot of these icons charge top dollar when it comes to seeing them. Tonight I wanted to cover an article that covers possible solutions for the question, what do we do when all of our rock icons have passed away? What does that mean for classic rock? Well, the article comes from UCR, all right? And I'm not sure what I think about this article because it tells a lot of truth, but I'm not sure that a lot of the solutions mentioned here are what we want to be looking at. It goes on to say that time is undefeated. It's a cliche saying, but it's true. Though rock has carried an air of immortality with it, musicians are fragile human beings, just like the rest of us. At some point, the Rolling Stones will stop touring, Stevie Nicks will retire, the world will no longer have any Beatles in it. The sobering reality is something artists and fans alike are now forced to face. Historically speaking, we have never seen a generational change quite like this one ahead. Sure, music itself existed for centuries, but music as a commodity didn't really appear until after World War II. In 1948, the first 12-inch vinyl LP were commercially released. The 50s saw a boom that is now commonly regarded as the birth of rock and roll. But when people talk about classic rock, they generally are referring to a period that began in the 60s and ended in the 80s. Now, I don't agree with that. I personally think the classic rock period was from, indeed, the 60s, but it existed until, although weakening, until about the year 2005. But they hold it to 3 decades by saying further, this 3-decade run birthed some of the greatest artists to ever grace a stage, ranging from the Beatles to the Stones to Jimi Hendrix, Fleetwood Mac, Led Zeppelin, Guns N' Roses, and many more. What happens to their incredible legacies after these icons retire or sadly die? Now, here's where the article gets into some solutions that we've talked about on this channel, and we'll go over them one by one. First solution, they ask, are avatars the future of concerts? Famously, Kiss made waves in December of 2023 when, following their final traditional concert, the band revealed virtual avatars that will take them into the future. Though details are still under wraps, the plan is to use new technology to create interactive virtual concert that pushes the boundaries of reality. Everything evolves, Gene Simmons explained of the project in 2024. We didn't always stand up on two legs. A few million years ago, we were on four. Everything evolves, and you either evolve or you become obsolete or you die. So technology is here, AI is here, virtual reality is here, everything is here, and we don't want to be yesterday's news. So even the end of something can be the beginning of something. Now, the article goes on to say, given their history of trailblazing commercialism, it makes sense that Kiss is the band that's leading the charge. Still, their venture comes with risk. Though the ABBA Voyage, a virtual concert experience which presents the beloved Swedish pop group in their prime, has been a rousing success in London, a 2019 tour featuring a hologram of Ronnie James Dio was met with disappointment by the metal legend's fans. Generally, the concert-going public seems skeptical of virtual events, at least thus far. Now, another solution that they offer here is how concert streaming is helping artists stay eternal. The article goes on to say, Kiss isn't the only classic act to retire from the road in recent years. Elton John, Aerosmith, Ted Nugent, and Kenny Loggins are among rockers who have stepped away from touring, though most have kept the door slightly ajar for occasional performances. As legendary acts play fewer and fewer shows, fans have turned to streaming concert platforms as an alternative. Brad Sterling is the founder and CEO of nugs.net, an industry service for streaming live and archival concert recordings. Their long list of music partners include Bruce Springsteen, who has been delivering content via Nugs for close to a decade. Springsteen came to us at one point and he said, "We want to put everything in the archives," Serling recalls during the conversation with UCR. Serling and his team created a once-a-month plan for the sprawling archives, helping deliver the boss's glory days to a new generation of viewers. We're transferring them at the highest quality that technology will allow, and we're doing speed correction and cleanup of the tape and then mixing those multi-tracks from as far back as 50 years ago. At the same time, Nugs has streamed Springsteen's current tour, offering a unique balance, one foot firmly in the present with another connected to the past. The CEO sees a similar dynamic when fans of modern acts such as psychedelic rockers Goose or Americana singer-songwriter Billy Strings discover classic artists via his platform. There's a two-way discovery of younger fans discovering these classic rock catalogs that are really perennials. He explains these songs, they're going to live on well beyond the touring artists. Bob Dylan, thankfully, is still touring, but in a couple of years, who knows? Same with the Rolling Stones. We got these 10 or 12 incredible full concert videos of the Stones in 1975. We have the Hyde Park show from 1969. It's just like these unbelievable performances that a younger kid coming to watch Billy Strings or Goose live could then go and watch the Stones from Hyde Park in 69. And I'm sure they know who the Rolling Stones are, but maybe They never actually took the time to sit down and watch the concert and discuss the catalog. Now, I've talked about that in the past too. I like this idea to a degree. It's time to catalog these events. It's time to curate them. I've seen that as a possibility. I don't care for the Avatar show approach. I think it's a dead end, and this is good for archiving and for teaching future generations. But what does it offer as a solution for the future of classic rock? Not much on itself, other than providing a base from which to teach new generation of rock fans. Now, the article also covers something I've covered before, and I've talked about bands being brands, not bands. Foreigner being an excellent example of exactly that. Primarily made of musicians who were never there to create the original music or there to record the original music that we all love. But UCR in this article sees no problem with that situation under their next heading. Selling out is no longer a concern. And they bring out something I've brought out many times here when they say the evolution of classic rock has turned bands into brands, with many artists capitalizing on their intellectual property. Just about any product you can think of is available as a Beatles collectible. Your local department store likely stocks t-shirts featuring the logos of Guns N' Roses, Led Zeppelin, The Doors, and more. Selling out is no longer a problem, it's the norm. Rockstar capitalism extends to artist material as well. In recent years, catalog sales have proven to be big business, with Pink Floyd, Springsteen, Dylan, and Queen among the acts pulling in 9-figure sums for their work. The payoff, of course, is the purchasing corporation takes control of the songs, a scenario that would have been shocking in the anti-establishment counterculture days. No shit, Sherlock. Now, they say, while the trend has offered financial security for artists and their heirs, it also means new, younger fans will likely discover classic acts via movies, TV, or advertisements. Oh, aren't they nice? They're looking out for our welfare, aren't they, folks? Few could have predicted that commercialism would end up keeping classic rock alive. Still, there's one other trend helping acts endure, and we'll discuss that in a minute. But my God, you would think these companies gobbling this up are Mighty Mouse. I'm here to save the day. Don't you bet it. Those movies these newer fans will be seeing will be paying dearly to include Sympathy for the Devil or other songs they need to fit that particular film. Now, the other trend that they identify that helps acts endure, we've talked about many times on this channel as well, right? Classic rock bands touring without original members. You can find about 40 of my videos that talk about this subject from different points of view, can't you? Here they say if recent history has proven anything, it's that a band's allure far exceeds that of its members. If Queen can rock stadiums without Freddie Mercury and the Grateful Dead can evolve to Dead and Company, there's no reason fellow iconic acts can't follow suit. Some notable groups, such as Lynyrd Skynyrd and Blood, Sweat and Tears, have even continued to enjoy success touring without any original members whatsoever. It's a topic that has divided fans and rockers alike. Similarly, Lou Gramm has previously criticized his former band Foreigner. I don't understand how they can be touring with no original members and still calling themselves Foreigner and going on for years like that, the singer remarked in 2023. I guess it's not my business, and maybe it's a business decision for them, but it just doesn't seem right to me. What is Graham doing right now? Touring with that exact same band and that exact same lineup, sans Kelly Hansen. So the article winds up by asking the question, so where does classic rock go from here? While no one can perfectly predict what the future will bring, classic rock fans can take some solace in knowing the genre will endure somehow. Whether via avatars, streaming, new lineups, or some other avenue, artists and their work will continue reaching new fans long after they've stepped off the stage for good. And as it finally says, as technology continues evolving, new options will also become available to classic rock fans. Now, isn't that interesting? The whole article, identifies the problem quite clearly, I think. We've talked about this so many times on this channel, but at no point did the article bring up the importance of bringing new blood along to continue. You see, even by their 3-decade time estimate, during those 3 decades, somebody took over from the Beatles when they were done. And when Led Zeppelin was done, somebody took over for Led Zeppelin. And there was always new blood being infused to the system. But now, due to a lot of the problems and approaches existing in this article, we can see there's a bottlenecking, and brand new acts, brand new artists barely have room to breathe and get very little sunshine or spotlight on their music and what they have to offer. Because you see, I've even posited this before, haven't I? If classic rock is truly dead in the water, then now is the time to archive. And the article brings some of that up. And then we curate it as an established art form. But if it is to have a second breath, you've got to have new talent, and there's got to be some sort of way to take a portion of the spotlight off of these aging rockers like McCartney and Springsteen and put a little light on upcoming, hungry new bands and hope for a second coming. All right, folks. That's the video for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. I always ask that, don't I? That helps the YouTube algo dragon better identify the channel to a wider audience. More people see the video. Some of them even join. If you haven't joined the channel, by the way, that's easy. All you have to do is hit that subscribe to the tribe button, tap that top bell icon, and you'll be notified of all my future videos and streams. I'm actually streaming now. All right, folks, I want to hear from you. Does all of this make sense? Because this article pretty much seems like everybody's ready to surrender. Let's archive it. Let's use new technology to present it, and it shall stay frozen in time. I'm a bit uncomfortable with that approach. All right, I'm Michael Noland. This is The Bottom Line. But the bottom line, only as I see it. I want to hear from each and every one of you, because the true bottom line for this channel is in the comments. Because you know what, folks? That's where we prove every single time that we are the tribe.